Ok, è iniziata. Vediamo cosa dice. Sicura che vada bene così?
I told you I could do it using the leftover funds from the original deposit. Don't tell me you're afraid that I cheaped out on the dress.
No, not at all. I have only the fullest faith in your work, Miss Chiori. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream to wear a Chioria boutique dress for my wedding.
Si deve
I never
sposare.
thought the chance had passed me by.
Wait, isn't that Chiori? She's actually at her shop today?
Forse è qui in occasione della settimana della moda di Fontaine.
Oh, you've got a point there. Well, once she's done with her customer, we can go and ask her.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it'll be done. The first rule of business is to
Mantenere
always keep
sempre
your
la parola.
promises.
La prima regola del mondo degli affari.
Now, remember to not fold the gown or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day of the wedding.
Mi sa che è molto emozionata.
I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor.
Chiori, you're actually at your shop today.
Is that really so shocking? It is mine, after all. Anything you're looking for today? A custom design, or perhaps some ready-to-wear
Prea po' troppe bambine.
Hey, Paimon's not a kid.
Oh, that. Well, if news of the event has reached your ears, I suppose the Fontaine Apparel Association's advertising efforts have paid off.
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Fashion Week isn't what I'd call fun.
La settimana della moda non la definirei esattamente un evento divertente, ma di certo attrae sempre una gran folla di persone. Dopotutto è uno spettacolo di moda annuale. Ma quindi si fa ogni anno? Beh, portare anche tu i tuoi modelli? Ma certo, tutti i stilisti della Corte Fontaine sfruttano la settimana della moda per promuovere il proprio brand. Se hai fortuna puoi anche riuscire a collezionare una grossa quantità di ordini subito dopo la fine della sfilata principale. In effetti. Oh!
Aren't you pretty much an established name now? People will still buy your clothes even if you don't participate this year, right?
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, the fashion industry
Sì, è vero, la moda dà molto valore alla visione artistica e alla direzione creativa.
Why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more complicated than Paimon thought. All that complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chioria designs at the show?
Una spilata, che bello!
The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using
Mi sa che la questa ha a che fare con i tessuti.
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Izuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense of security.
Certo che lei la potevano fare un po' più sorridente. No, niente.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's that feeling of home.
Something like that.
We're a long
Però
way
è bella,
from Inazuma,
bella
though.
bella.
Aren't you concerned that your shipment might get lost or stolen along the way?
No need to worry. I've already taken steps to ensure that it'll arrive safely. I've entrusted the job to Komani Express's most reliable courier.
Excuse me.
Kirara?
Coming through. Chiori, your shipment's here. I know it's quite late, so
Tuo ordine è arrivato, so di essere un po' in ritardo.
really sorry.
Mi spiace tanto.
Deep breaths, Kirara, then start again.
Oh, so Kirara's the courier you were talking about.
Oh, hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. It's been a... Wait a second. This is the second time that you've seen me flub a delivery job now, isn't it?
E noi siamo proprio tempistiche.
So, what was the holdup? Sailing delays, bad weather?
Huh? No, nothing like that. I just ran into a bit of trouble, that's
Sta
all.
mentendo.
Bandits, then? Or treasure hoarders? A few run-ins on the road aren't usually enough to give you any trouble.
Well, I didn't run into anyone exactly. I just got a little lost.
Keeping you honest as always, I see.
Già. Bello però che quando mette il code.
All right. I was stopped by a group of bandits as soon as I entered Fontaine. They were a little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Komunia Express. It was obvious they were looking for someone with two tails.
So it was a targeted hit?
I got the sense that they were actually targeting Chiori's goods.
My fabric shipment?
Mi ordine di stoffe.
Yeah, they said that I could go
Ci
as
sono
long
fare
as I
banditi con le
recommended
stoffe.
them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my delivery box and toss me into the sea to drown.
Oh, are you okay, Kirara?
I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all. I turned them over to the guards. It just took me a while to round them all up.
Well, it's not completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. But it still doesn't make sense how you knew it was my goods they were after. You've got other deliveries to make in Fontaine, don't you? Is there something else that you're keeping from me?
Well,
Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to give you on my review.
Oddio, le recensioni per un corriere è la cosa più sacra del mondo.
Chiori. Alright, I'll talk. So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me, so I spent a bit of time investigating. One of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some
La
time.
lingua
He
lunga.
said that a certain person had commissioned them to intercept Chioria Boutique's delivery.
Mi sa che è un avversario suo.
And who might this person be? Chiori, why don't we just let this one go? I mean, I didn't really get injured, and you've still got Fashion Week to worry about.
I appreciate your kindness, Kirara, but if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt they'll stop here. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to and then some.
All right.
Oddio, qua fa paura.
The guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name
Uter.
of Uter.
Uter. Now that name rings a bell. Wouldn't you say, Kirara?
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up to you.
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his goal in life to make hers as miserable as possible.
Oh, so he's like a business rival.
Lo
A
sapevo.
rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and
Sì.
square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. He's publicly disparaged my design choices, my use of materials. He's practically tried every trick in the book to ruin my good. I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square. But I guess he prefers playing dirty.
Wait, Chiori, where are you going?
To teach someone a lesson. You must be tired after your long journey. Why don't you rest in my shop for a little while?
Chiori! Wait!
And she's got
Se n'è andata.
Oh no. What should we do?
You seem concerned. Should we be worried about Chiori?
Well, she's always been the type of person to face things head on. But with her fiery temper, I'm just worried whatever she's about to do will feel negative publicity about her right before the start of Fashion Week. Traveler, Paimon, could you go after her and check out the situation for me? As a formal employee of Komunia Express, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to get involved.
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
Yes.
Well, to be honest, I'm more worried about that if
Così paura fa, Shiori. Quando parleranno di stasera. Via. Ok, allora dobbiamo raggiungere Shiori. Chissà dove sta. Ah no, ma qui vicino. E mi sa che hanno la boutique vicino questi. Ah no, sto parlando con la pistolera.
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
Nothing good ever comes out of you addressing me
Lol.
like that. Oh, and I see the Traveler and Paimon are here too.
Chevras, we meet again.
Well, things have been fine on my end. We were able to bring in a large number of recruits thanks to that film we made.
Oh,
I suppose the trade-off is that I'm now constantly getting stopped for autographs while out on patrol. Not ideal if you
mi
ask
chiedono
me.
l'autografo mentre il servizio, bellissimo.
Well, you were one of the leading roles after all.
So, did something happen?
Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me.
I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually I'm the one asking people to do that.
Well, are you coming?
Vieni o no? Decidici.
Not before I know what you're planning.
Prima il
Have I
perché.
ever made a bad call?
The better question is, have you ever made one that didn't violate proper procedure?
Okay. A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend.
Lol, molto diretta
I
lei
had to go teach
comunque.
him a lesson.
Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the special patrol?
Sta diventando difficile capire se sei qui per denunciare un reato o per denunciarne uno che stai per commettere.
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything out
Sta
of line.
cercando una guardia per cercare di calmarla anche. Tipo come con la mia amica Francesca, io pure, quando sono nervosa.
Not if I can help it.
All right. Where is this person?
Ma io ascolta musica mentre lavora, ho le cuffiette.
Follow me.
Dov'è questa persona? Seguimi. Andiamo. Aspetta.
Just promise you'll start trying to keep yourself out of trouble.
Well, when trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that.
Ah, ma qui vicino, dove abbiamo fatto le prove del teatro.
This should be the place. You all wait here.
No, come?
You know,
È entrata
Chevras,
sola dopo che ha
since
fatto
the
tutta
you
quella
two are actually
stronzata.
pretty close.
It's just as Chiori said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of work. You could call it a you scratch my back and I'll scratch
Una
yours
mano
sort
lava
of
l'altra.
situation.
Does Chiori often need your help?
LOL.
I'd say it's mutual. The special patrol needs her help quite often as well. We've got the uniform, the musket. They're intimidating. Most people clam up the minute they see us. Lips sealed so tight, getting them to talk almost feels like trying to break into the fortress of Meripede. But put them in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the Fountain of Lucine.
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
Yep. People are vain creatures. They can't help but
Siamo
want to talk
vanitosi.
up new developments in their lives or show off how much they know about other people. And nothing brings out that sort of vanity quite like fashion. As a result, Chiori often picks up on all kinds of information in her shop. Most of her customers are members of the upper class, which means they're pretty much
Quindi
up
ci
to
vanno
their
solo
gills
quelli
in wealth
ricchi.
and intel.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety. Those who make trouble for her also tend to be rich and powerful. And in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect other people from Chiori herself. So, who got on her case this time? It's been a while since I last saw her that angry.
Oh, so this is what happened.
In realtà è andata così. Tempo passa ma non esce più
Dare,
Chiori.
you say?
You've heard of him?
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. He's fond of pretty much every dirty trick in the book. So he's back at it, huh? His funeral, I guess.
Whoa, what's this about a funeral all of us?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up close.
Vis-a-vis.
Sure, but why?
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare cases I just talked about.
Rari casi di cui vi parlavo. Che l'ho buttato dalla finestra? Ah no. Sì, come immaginavo. L'ha buttato dalla porta però.
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
No, no, tipo le incazzatissime, è bellissima. La voglio ancora di più. Anche
Stupidity
perché non ho nessun
is
geo.
doing the same meaningless thing over and over again. It appears you've forgotten what I told you before. So,
Un accendaio che
allow
ti
me to
sfacchi i
refresh your
trucchi.
memory. Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant
L'ho
landing
buttata
next
dal
time.
balcone, ho capito.
Chiori?
Officer, an assault's in progress. Please, officer, you've got to do something.
La legge non è dalla tua
Of
parte.
course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, I was chatting with this traveler and seemed to have missed what happened.
Ci usa come capro
Not
espiatorio.
to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you? There's nothing in there that would implicate you in any illegal activity.
No, no,
I
non
hope.
entrare, non entrare.
Forget it. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Si
Miss
spaventa.
Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such disorderly conduct in the future, especially out in the open like this.
Già.
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to tossing out any trash I
Ma
come
no,
across
non
on
si
the
butta
street.
così la spazzatura, si mette nei cassetti.
You...
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourselves?
That's all from me. I sincerely hope that today's events will never happen
Che
again.
occhi.
We'll see about that.
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon. How did he just go flying out like that?
Che bel
You're too
volo.
kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened to not doing anything too out of line?
Not if I could help it, is what I said. And I think I kept that. I started with a verbal warning, but
Ma lui non ha mostrato il minimo rimorso e pentimento, anzi ha continuato con gli insulti e le seminazze.
he kept running his mouth with
Ah, lei ci
insults
sta
and
che l'ha fatto volare dal
threats.
Insults
balcone.
and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Sì, sì, esatto.
Believe
Ci
it or
sta,
not,
anch'io avrei fatto lo
they
stesso.
were that bad. He deserved to get knocked down a peg. It's the only way to get him to stop.
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had anything to do with those bandits. I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara is going to continue delivering goods for me, the least I can
Giusto.
do is guarantee her
Sì,
safety.
sì, fa sempre la sicurezza di qualcuno.
Oh, that reminds me.
What a shame. I believe you've already used up your favor quota for the
Ah, volevo
day.
fare un favore al giorno.
Have I? Well, it's a good thing I was planning on taking an advance on tomorrow's quota then.
Don't you think you're maxed out on advances already?
I always pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said. You scratch my back, and I...
Qua ci voleva Yalana che in 2 secondi arrivava. Ce l'ho pure, però non mi va di cambiare personaggio. Mannaggia, sono sempre senza stand.
We're back.
Eccoci qua.
You were gone for an awfully long time.
No, no, tranquilla, abbiamo soltanto buttato uno dal balcone, nulla di che.
There's nothing to worry about. All you need to know is that you'll never have to worry about
Bene,
someone in
bene,
Fontaine
siamo
messing
a
with your
posto.
deliveries again.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much
Ma
trouble.
no, quella non ha mai problemi, quella lancia le cose, le persone dai balconi, dalle finestre, dalle porte.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. Those greedy bandits are blame. Along with a certain someone who doesn't know the
Giusto.
way of the petty tricks. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and this interview with Sula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your goods. Unless, of course, it's to offer to carry them for you.
Perché sarebbe bello se ci mettono a farlo gratis.
Good one, Chiori. I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal.
Domani torni
You'll
in
write a
Azuma,
nice note
giusto?
tomorrow, right? Wait, you don't mean... I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow. As for Nadia...
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with sunglasses, for that matter. Don't think of
Invece
me
devi
Well,
andarci,
you
Kira,
certainly
devi essere
shouldn't count on
scortata.
such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's
È solo
just
per
a
questa
one-off
volta.
thing. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends.
Well, if you think it's a good idea, Traveler.
D'accordo.
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be good to go for Fontaine Fashion Week, right?
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say suppliers are super important.
I fornitori sono importantissimi.
They supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. You have to work with them if
Giusto.
you want to become a truly renowned fashion house. That's also
Anche
why
per
this
questo la
year's
settimana
fashion
della moda
week
di
is so
quest'anno è così
important.
importante per me.
But isn't your brand
Berto
already
Brando non è già
really
ampiamente
famous,
conosciuto,
Chiori?
Shiori?
Your
I tuoi
clothes are so
vestiti sono così
trendy and
carini e
so
comodi
nice
da
to
indossare,
wear.
me ne
I
vanto
can't help
sempre
but
con i miei
brag about them
clienti,
to my
ogni volta che
customers whenever I
posso.
get the chance.
Even so, I would
Ciononostante
imagine there's
immagino che
still
ci
people
siano
who've
ancora
never
dei
heard of
potenziali
Chiori
clienti che non hanno mai
before.
sentito
Yes.
parlare della boutique Shiori, no?
Well,
Beh, con
I
la
mean,
quantità di
with the
posti in
amount
cui
of
faccio
places
le
that I deliver
consegne, è ovvio che io
to,
incontri
it's
gente di
only
altre
natural that
nazioni
some people
che
from
non ho
other
mai sentito
nations have heard of
parlare.
it.
Then it's still not famous
Quindi non è
enough.
ancora abbastanza
My
famoso.
goal is
Il
to
mio
make the
obiettivo è far
Chiori
sì che il
brand
brand
renowned throughout
Shiori
all
diventi
of
rinomato in
Tibet.
tutta Taiwan. Mm,
All of it?
tutta
Your business
Taiwan?
would have to get
Il tuo
pretty
giro d'affari
huge
deve
then.
farsi un bello grande allora.
Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chioria branch on the
Significa
continent to
che
get my
potrei andare
clothes
in
fixed?
qualunque filiale della
It
boutique
must
Shiori
be
del
pretty
continente per farmi
inconvenient having to
aggiustare i
come to
vestiti?
Fontaine every time I need to get them
In
patched up.
effetti è piuttosto scomodo dover venire ogni volta fino a Fontaine anche solo per un rattoppo.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as I can make them.
Mm.
Okay, I'll
Lui si
admit,
impigliano
it
spesso nei
gets
rami.
snagged on branches pretty often. But I can't help it. It's hard to be careful about that sort of thing when you're trying to take a nice nap in a tree. Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality.
Ok, ci stiamo offrendo volontari, ma perché devi sempre offrirti volontari per rompere...
I'm sure I could think of something.
Sì, lo sapevo che c'era sempre. E naturalmente noi ci offriamo gratuitamente. Che cosa possono chiedere le persone? Le cose.
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put,
Oh,
you'll serve as my living
devo andare a
mannequins.
fare la manichina.
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it.
Lei è già felice.
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
No need. We've already booked the models for that. If you like them, though, feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye. I'll even give you a special discount.
Ooh, sounds great! Paimon was just starting to get curious about all this design stuff.
Then we have a deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and I don't know. Paimon here will show some kids designs.
Vai, ma la travesta una
I'll see you
bambina.
tomorrow then.
Yep, sounds good. Wait, kids' clothes? Paimon told you already she's not a little kid.
Vai, ma non è una bambina, sei incazzata. Bellissimo. Allora, spostiamo la lancetta alle 6. Dovevo spostarla alle 6, non alle 7, vabbè. Vai alla boutique. Posso entrare? Wow, sono entrata in una boutique.
Chiori, over here!
Siamo qui.
You're here early. I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Ma chi è che alle 6 di mattina si alza?
Chiara left already?
Yep, with the special patrol. Bright and early.
Did everything go all right on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself.
È bellissima Navia con gli occhi da sole, sembra una
They
sta.
took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step
Bello,
on
nel
stray rock
guzzazzo.
on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara. An excellent souvenir to remember Fontaine by, I'd say.
No, macaron.
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
Già.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier. I'm pretty sure she can't wait for another
Devo ascoltare di nuovo.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar. You say what you mean, and when you have an idea, you really hit the ground running.
I suppose that's why we're such good friends.
Mm.
Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, she
È
never
vero.
bows down in the face of adversity. That same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit for my boutique, well, I'm sure you can imagine my excitement.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear said clothes. People like to copy the styles of those they look up to.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look cute.
No, non funziona solo così.
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Especially if you've got your sights set on a market the size of that. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh yeah. Come on, let's get down to business. We're here to model.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits. Why don't you help me set up the shop displays in the meantime?
Set them up. How exactly?
Allora,
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way, we can guarantee that the customers will see something different every day.
Whoa, there sure is a lot that goes into running a store.
è normale, ti pare che ti apri un negozio così?
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
Ci affida le vetrine, oddio. Arreda la boutique.
We just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
Ah, completo from ok, posizione il completo da uomo e poi il completo da donna. È molto semplice.
Not bad. You might just have a
Ovvio,
different
con chi
side.
parli?
Anyway, let's move on to the real task at hand. Over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
Ok.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori. Oh, good morning, Leanne. How have you been recently?
Not too bad.
Your gown will be ready next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball. Or did you come here today because you'd like to make a new request, perhaps?
Oh, no. Nothing like that, Miss Chiori.
No, ma
To
come?
be honest, I came here today to cancel my order for that gown.
Cancel your order.
But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already used.
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned about you. Did something happen, Leanne? It's all right. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. I'll take note of the cancellation.
Thank you. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry.
Chissà che cosa è
Just
successo.
let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Is it just Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now? I wonder why she wouldn't tell us why she was
Chissà
canceling.
come mai.
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a
Ogni
while.
tanto.
family emergency, an important
Mancanza di
payday
soldi,
call,
digitali
a mother's
fidanzati,
quarrel,
prenderla a ballo, non
and
so
what
di ricordi di
not.
più.
Judging from the look on her face, something's
Sembra che non
creeping
ci voglia dire la
more than
verità,
the truth
qualche
does.
motivo, ma io non ficcare il
It's
naso.
best not to pry.
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on Fashion Week, right?
Già già.
That's true. Come, let's pick up where we left off.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Oh, could I ask why?
It's just, not to my liking. You said I could get a refund if I wasn't satisfied, so that's why I'm here.
C'è qualcosa che non
Is
quadra.
there something about it that didn't meet your expectations? Are the sleeves too short? Or is the color too dark? I can always make those adjustments for you.
No need. You don't have to concern yourself with that. I'd just like that refund, please.
And I'd be happy to process that for you. If you could just tell me the cause of your
Beh, mi pare
dissatisfaction.
normale.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to return my outfit.
Ma tutti in una volta.
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or an apocalypse, maybe? What does the prophecy say this time? You'll be spared if you get rid of all your clothes.
Chi restituirà se restituirà
Surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene and pick this one day to come and
Questa
return my
stazione.
clothes.
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this shop is nothing more than a black market front run by a bunch of dirty criminals.
Allora, se lo prendo a cacci, veramente.
What is he talking about?
Haven't you heard? Chiori Boutique has been exposed for having close ties with criminals. It's all over the...
And just who is it that dares to throw that accusation around?
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sourced from underground
Quelle
factories.
fabbriche clandestine.
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. I've already proved there's nothing wrong with them. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead and hand over your garments right now. Spare yourself from them.
You...
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no need to ask them why.
All right.
And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the day.
Got it.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it.
If you say so, but Paimon still can't help but worry.
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no
Noi
doubt
modelli?
about the quality of my work once my new designs
In
are
effetti si
released.
fa sempre così. Si attira gente con noi modelli.
Oh, for the love of... Can a woman not get a moment of peace?
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll
No,
no longer be able
no,
to
ma
supply us during...
come?
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
Non è giusto.
What about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll probably pull out as well.
Even the suppliers believe those nasty rumors?
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no brooches, no bow ties, things like that?
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold
Niente
thread,
fiocchi, niente fili
all the
d'oro,
elements
tutti gli
that
elementi
lend
che
life
danno a
and
noi
soul
come
to my
possibilità ai miei
designs.
modelli.
But if you take those away, does that mean
Poi
you won't be
già.
able to make your...
Alof, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk.
Yeah, and we can back for you too. We'll make sure you're supplied.
Giusto.
Thank you. In that case,
Andiamo. Ah, ecco.
By the way, we really are just going to
Lo
talk,
buttiamo dal
right?
balcone anche a lui.
of course. I wouldn't do anything to one of my business partners, especially when a reasonable conversation should sit.
Siamo pronti. Toc toc. C'è qualcuno in casa?
Venger, it's Chiori.
We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face
Giusto.
conversation.
Straightforward as always, I see.
No, noi non facciamo niente di
And
messaggero.
when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a messenger when I can just explain things in person?
Have you read the papers?
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation. That's something you should.
Giusto.
I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most days I never even read.
So, these rumors. The Steambird was the one that published them?
No, not at all. They were in some second-rate fashion tabloids.
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely a bit of tabloid drama isn't worth cutting off my supply.
Giusto.
You would think that. But this time,
Stavolta è diverso.
someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy in front of every house.
Every house? That means someone must have been.
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time, Chiori. The article was even published.
What sort of photo?
A photo of you.
Almeno qualcuno per strada.
Yesterday.
Dio, chi è che ha fatto la foto?
Yesterday. Wait, that means.
Ucher again.
Here, I've got a copy.
Vediamo.
Someplace else.
La boutique Shiori che si trova sulla nostra bella carta di Fontaine sostiene di essere un negozio di abbigliamento dallo stile unico, ma i pochi in grado di guardare oltre la sua facciata scopriranno ben altro. Secondo alcuni informatori a forte meropide, non sono pochi i criminali che si vantano di aver acquistato abiti dalla boutique Shiori. È stata l'atmosfera del luogo a convincermi, confessa il detenuto Lyle. Queste parole hanno riscontrato a favore di molti altri carcerati. I nostri informatori hanno anche dichiarato che un prigioniero recentemente condannato per comportamenti violenti e assalto era un fervente sostenitore degli abiti Shiori un anno fa. Dopo aver indagato da vicini sui fornitori della boutique abbiamo scoperto che i criminali hanno i loro buoni motivi per sostenerla. La boutique è paragonabile a una mano invisibile o una ragnatela che collega diversi malfattori. Le nostre indagini mostrano che la famiglia Wenger fornisce le decorazioni che finiscono sui suoi abiti e un membro di questa famiglia è un ospite frequente del forte. Non è forse vero che chi si somiglia si piglia? Non solo molti clienti sono stati sottoposti a un trattamento spietato all'interno della boutique. Monsieur Valerian ha detto una vera e propria tiranna. Si è rifiutata di cucirmi gli abiti e questo è niente. Ha preso le forbici e ha iniziato a rovinarmeli e poi ha buttato fuori dalla vetrina. Mi ha buttato fuori dalla vetrina. Un negozio di abbigliamento per me non è altro che un covo di ladri. Senza dubbio molti di voi si saranno chiesti perché i vetri della boutique vadano spesso in frantumi, provocando un enorme fragore e dando vita a una confusione sentibile. L'incontro sfortunato di Monsieur Valerian svela la verità. Proprio il giorno prima di mandare in stampa questo articolo, sulle strade si è verificato un altro assalto brutale. E immaginate, cari lettori, le scene ritratte nella foto qui in alto. Shiori, con un'espressione terrificante, afferra il suo rivale, il signor Outer, per la nuca, facendogli dei gesti intimidatori. La situazione non è degenerata solo grazie agli agenti della Guardia che hanno raggiunto il luogo del misfatto. Quando abbiamo chiesto ai criminali la causa del loro apprezzamento di questo brand, la risposta che abbiamo ricevuto è stata che Shiori utilizza strategie di concorrenza illegale per spuntarla, dando ai malfattori la speranza che il male preverrà, se si è travestito da moda o bellezza. Forse coloro che acquistano degli abiti in questo negozio, seguendo la filosofia, preferirebbero liquidare i loro rivali. La boutique Shiori, davvero luogo esaltato ciecamente da fanatici della moda, e la sua clientela è davvero composta interamente da malfattori?
Behind the scenes, the true Chioria boutique takes shape. Not relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chioria brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on top, giving hope to the evildoers among us that wrongdoing can still prevail, provided.
I don't know what happened. and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you to be the clear aggressor.
Yeah, he was the one who started it, that little...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon, but it can't be helped now.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind.
Chapeau.
Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once...
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. Once, they claim that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who buy your clothes are just like you. People...
The absurdity. I don't even know which part to laugh at the most.
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe they're not. There's even the possibility that they're just people who happen to commit crimes after buying your clothes. But with the way this article combines fact with rumor, trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility. It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider? If we go through with the show together, we can defeat them fair and
Perché non dobbiamo farlo?
If I were younger, but I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I've got the family business to consider now. I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this, but my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all of this.
I understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori.
Lascia perdere la settimana della moda, potrei rifarti il prossimo anno. Devi solo aspettare che passi tutta sta bufera.
You just need to wait for all of this to blow over.
You're free to wait things out, Venger. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this trouble?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Then I suppose all there's left to say is best of luck. As for the models, none of them wanted to be implicated in all of this either.
Understood. Take care.
So, what should we do now?
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals. Can't people tell this is just a bunch of lies?
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uter knows me too well.
Non sapeva che l'avresti buttato fuori dalla porta.
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
Sì, abbiamo letto.
You mean that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just thinking about it makes Paimon's blood boil.
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all papers and Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to interview so that I can write an article to refute.
That's great! With your help, we might be able to get some people.
Vai! Abbiamo Charlotte,
It's my pleasure.
la più grande giornalista del mondo.
I know she's not the kind of person that article makes her out to be. She's
Ovvio.
the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite.
Ah, pure il nome della fotocamera, fantastico.
Olaf told me you were all together.
She was just here.
È andato da Outwear.
If you ask me, I think Chiori Boutique is done for.
Bastardi, non si dicono
what
queste
did they
cose.
expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' backs.
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before.
Ma non è vero.
How was it? The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with criminals, I guess. I've got the chills just thinking about it.
Ok.
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so the general public hasn't had a chance to really get to know her. It's also true that her way of dealing with things can be a little extreme
già.
sometimes. It's easy to use that to mislead people who don't know anything else about her. Oh, this is all Tear's fault. Paimon would pick him up and throw him across the room too.
Come ha fatto Chiori.
You don't think Chiori might have gone looking for him, do you? You know, that would only make the situation worse for her. You've got a point.
Andiamo al negozio.
This is Miss Letitia. She's also here to see Miss Chiori.
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right? Wait.
No, non mi dire che sei.
That dress too?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her. In fact, if there's anything I can
Che
do to help
carino.
Ah, so you've come across that article as...
Yeah, you probably don't know this. But after I got engaged, I didn't think I'd be able to...
why?
Perché?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of money, but we get by. After he proposed, he
Che
probably
carino.
noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes and how pretty they were. Being able to wear one of her dresses to... And then something happened to the business. And we ran into major moral problems. We were able to scrounge up
Non mi
enough
c'era
to pay off
rimasto
our
nemmeno
debts,
un'ora per
but
i vestiti.
But didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what was left of the...
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she heard me out and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress. And that...
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be a woman of her word.
It is good. It's just... After I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take out the dress and try it on.
Ah, what a shame. He's not supposed to see it until the wedding
già.
day.
Well, see, that wasn't actually the issue.
già.
He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have cost far more than what we paid.
Huh? So wait, that...
Yeah. Miss Chiori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric, accessories, beading, construction.
Gli ha fatto un
was all
regalo.
the highest
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique.
Huh? Well, if it would help Miss Chiori out.
Dolci.
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies combined.
Sì, è vero. Questo vale più di tutto quello che hanno detto.
Has Chiori come back here since we left?
Huh? I thought you were...
Well, we were. If she
Beh, potrebbe essere andato.
do you know that?
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would always go there whenever she was
Al mare.
upset.
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue it. All right, sounds
Va
good.
bene, ci andiamo, ci andiamo. Allora, andiamo. Mia, con scogliera vicino, non è dall'altro lato del mondo. Fortuna che ci sono i teleport. Guarda, è seduta.
There you are, Chiori.
Eccoti qua.
How did you know where I
Ve l'ha
left
detto lei.
you, didn't she?
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress.
Giusto.
You see?
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air. Want to sit here with me? The view's quite stunning.
Ok.
Sorry about that. I'm the only one here most of the
Ma in
time.
realtà c'è lo spazio.
All right, don't mind if we do.
E infatti c'era lo spazio.
Well, how does it feel?
Che ve ne pare?
This place is pretty great.
Sì, è vero, è bellissimo.
Right? It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless critique from fashion commentators and the media.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment
Sì.
every once in a while.
I didn't grow up in my parents would joke that
La mia famiglia non è mai
I
stata molto severa. I miei
spoiled as a
genitori
child.
scherzavano dicendo che sono diventata determinata perché da piccola mi viziavo. Giocavo con gli altri bambini ad arrampicarmi sugli alberi e esplorare le grotte. Una volta che mi sono anche arrampicata sulle mura della residenza dei Kamisato.
One of the
Ha dovuto
students had to
prendermi
physically
in giro.
Whoa, Paimon would have never
Capo pazza,
imagined
poi non
that.
ti sei mai aspettata una cosa del genere.
But even as
Per
rambunctious
quanto
as I
fossi
was,
chiestosa e
when
indisciplinata,
I gave a needlework,
quando era il momento di
I was
cucire
as
ero
open
muta come un pesce e concentrata come non mai.
It was as if I
Era
discovered
come se
a
avessi
whole
scoperto un mondo
world
tutto
that
nuovo all'interno di quei
dazzled
tessuti
us.
vivaci e scintillanti. Avete presente quella sensazione? Più o meno.
My parents noticed.
I miei lo notarono,
And
mi
they
mandarono a
sent me to
studiare
study
dal
in a
famoso
boarding
sarto di
city to a
Nazuma,
tailor.
ma feci perdere la
It
pazienza a ogni
wasn't
sorto
long before I
dell'arcipelago.
joined very much
Si
of a
proprio per dire che
master-minded
mettevo alla prova la loro capacità di pazienza.
It's
You were that misbehaved?
Sì, mi sa di sì.
I wasn't misbehaved exactly. I just
Avevo delle strane idee
often
infatti di
had
moda
strange ideas when it came to
e loro non
fashion.
piaceva. Vabbè.
Ones that weren't in line with traditional ways of doing things. On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call. Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master.
No,
Not
No wonder
cattivi.
you left Inazuma.
I was a
Già.
little frustrated. So, before I left,
Comunque sì,
I
non
swore
sembra
to those
abbastanza
masters
bello
that by God,
il
one day I
design
will
esterno
all
perché
over to that.
non sembrava tipo caricato.
Well, that's a great dream to
After that, I came all the way
Che
to the
viene
court of
spesso definita come la
Fontaine,
capitale
a
delle arti e
city
della
often
moda.
referred to as the capital of arts and fashion. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to make whatever I wanted. I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something was pretty, it would become popular, right? Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever that. Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah,
Letitia.
she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. That's who would have thought. Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone else's. All right, that's enough sightseeing for one day.
Già.
looks like you've got your game face back.
Sì, esatto.
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did.
Paimon thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote that article, and that he hired those. Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those nasty rumors, so we can publish all our findings in the Steambird once we.
I don't like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat
Giusto.
in the ring, I know where Uter's clothing factory is located.
Sounds good. Look, as for Fashion Week, well, there's always next year, right?
Ah, lei partecipa lo stesso secondo me.
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating evidence or participate in fashion.
Esatto.
Your accessories. Didn't you say?
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that. To tell you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I kept thinking about all that. I just
Giusto. Andiamo avanti.
What did you just say, Chief?
the sea, seashells, coral.
Conchiglie, cani.
God, what?
Come, let's.
Facciamo un tuffo? Andiamo a prendere i coralli. Secondo me usa quelli come accessori. Andiamo. Non mi immergo in mare da una vita.
Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitwall? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too. Ah, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
Leave it to us.
Vieni qua, picciolino. Ok.
These should be enough, right? Paimon picked all the prettiest ones in this area. Chiori, will these do?
La passiamo per le sott'acqua.
Everything looks great. I've
Non
also
basta.
collected a pretty big batch, so we should...
Great! So are we gonna head back now and make some new...
Yes, but don't forget.
Bello fare una cosa con le conchiglie, mi piace. Come idea molto carina comunque.
Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories. Next, we'll need to use what we have on hand to create some new outfits.
You mean we have to start from scratch? Will there be enough time?
I should be able to make it.
Mi basterà non dormire, come se fosse la cosa più normale del mondo.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving Paimon a major date? Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna...
Well, I can't argue with you there. One thing's for sure, though. I'm all this grit and determination. It reminds me of the first fashion week I ever participated in.
What else can we help with?
Let me see. I suppose all there's left to do is...
You got it!
You heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma,
un paio di
and I used the
vestiti.
scraps to make my entries for the show. I used the larger pieces for the base fabric, and if it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
But you worked so hard on all these outfits.
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. I'm not going to let them win. Even if...
Okay.
No need to be nervous. I won't hold it. Of course. If anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day, I'd probably toss them into the sewer.
La testa in un tombino. Ma io non voglio farlo.
Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions. Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. Who did this? Those monsters. Slandering you in the papers wasn't enough for them, was it? They even sent people to wreck your shop. Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think it's about time
Non so che
to
sta studiando.
return the favor.
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, cause you see,
Huh?
Ugh, what is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits.
Oh, so that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself.
Lei se ne va così.
Javier sure is scary when she's angry.
Sì.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some conspiracy to take down one of my friends and get away with it.
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course. Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula's formal wear is
Oh, ecco
custom
perché sono
tailored
così
here.
eleganti.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as... Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can the Spina be of service to you?
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. I just knew you wouldn't be in... When are you going to get started?
Actually, there's something else I'd like to add.
Ask away. I'm all ears.
Oh,
and
un'altra forma.
Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette?
Oh, I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Oh! Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on the
Pure
front
lei.
page of the Steambird tomorrow.
Not this again.
Bellissimo. Dovete andare a cercare pure voi. Andiamo a cercare Linee Linette.
Lynette! Great, you're both here.
A moment
Eccovi
later
qua.
and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. We were just about to go find Miss Chiori. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances.
Oh, perfect. She was the one who sent us.
In that case, I assume that there's something we can do to help?
Okay, so it's like this.
Mi sa che avrà a che fare con qualche trucco di magia.
Should be a piece of cake for the two of us.
Ma devono andare a scoprire qualche cosa di nascosto.
Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence for all the bad stuff. Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days. We can check.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uter fair and square at the show. And then
A two-pronged approach?
Doppia strategia
Courtesy
sotto.
first, confrontation second.
yeah, something like.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some preparation.
Alright, we're coming.
Ah, quindi devo aspettare 2 giorni per sapere il finale di sto coso? Ok.
Then let's also do as Chiori said and meet up with her at Uter's factory. Oh, I'm sure hopes she won't have a hard.
Va bene, allora ragazzi ci vediamo tra 2 giorni esatti. Aspetta 2 giorni. Andiamo. Sono già passati 2 giorni. Stanno passando velocemente i giorni. Ok, andiamo. Devo andare dall'altro lato. Mannaggia Iti. Ah, devo andare sotto? Devo andare sotto le fognature. Chiori è già qua.
Oh, you're here.
Eccovi qua.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming along?
Sì.
Just a few steps left now.
I've handed the rest over to Ayla.
Wow, that's cutting it real close.
Don't worry. I have no intention of getting ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight,
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and he totally.
his factory
Non
is
interessa
usually
nessuno la
open
violazione
by
privata.
It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can stop by for a tour. We're just curious customers at.
Well, when you put.
Anyway,
Siamo clienti
his
curiosi.
factory is right over there.
Why would he open a factory over there?
In
We have
effetti.
different marketing strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments, he prefers.
Alright.
You make a good point.
Devo andare qua sopra. Ok, andiamo. Andiamo, quanto è lunga sta scala? Ma come fa a non avere le vertigini quando ci sale? Allora, Geo. Bene, io di Geo c'ho sia Zongli che lei adesso. Quindi si può anche fare. Mi sonno. Questa storia però mi sta piacendo. Ok. Illustriamo sta fabbrica. Che cos'è quello?
Welcome, dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please follow me, dear guests.
Ok. Andiamo.
First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand. After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Uter seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our designs are made. Please, take a look around at your leisure.
Yep.
Niente di che. Vediamo questo. Arrivare in città in mattinata passando
These
per...
are the fitting rooms. Please
sono le
use
prove.
them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on tight, Paimon.
Why is it moving?
Oddio, ma dove stiamo andando?
It seems to have stopped.
Dove siamo arrivati?
Where did this thing take us?
It seems like we're someplace deeper inside the factory.
Aspetta, vediamo se c'è qualche cassa, qualcosa. Nascondono sempre casse in questo gioco. Niente cassa. Di qua? Se mi butto muoio? No, non muoio. Ok. Che schifo, siamo nelle fogne.
Look out, there are guards here!
Right here, right now. Emerge.
I will have order.
Shine down. Access denied.
Ah, niente di che, sono solo guardiette. Piccole guardie. Niente ceste, ok. Ma di là che c'è? Niente. Cinematica.
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uter's shop seriously made?
Look over there.
Guardate là.
Ugh! That water looks super nasty!
Che cazzo è?
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter?
So he was actually the one who opened an
Ah, già.
underground factory.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch. He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here even be worn?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These materials can give you
Sì,
skin
possono far diventare la
problems
pelle
if you use
rossa.
them too often.
That's terrifying! This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court.
Giusto. L'abilità mentale può permettere di compiere uno scatto a gran velocità. Tieni premuto per mirare l'angolo. Ok. Ma io devo fare di nuovo. Aspetta.
Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
Che sono rimasta bloccata. Sono morta. Vabbè, ho capito comunque come funziona. No, non ho capito un cazzo. Lo rifaccio. Allora. Ora aspetto, 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 aspetto. Comunque ho capito come funziona, penso. Che mi faccio a morire pure io, ma sono scemo. Sì, vabbè, sono caduta di nuovo giù. Ah, ma perché mi fanno fare a me queste cose? Boh. Ai ai. Ah, devo salire là sopra. Comunque è bella come abilità. Ah, se volessi usare il coso di Zangri, no, vero? Non me lo fa fare. Per forza sciori ci vuole. Bella.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse.
Lui che puzza.
What's going on?
Mi sa che c'è uno scoperto.
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because
Wait, you're practically at each other's throats. Now you're...
when
già.
I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a
Quindi lavoravano
foothold
insieme
in
prima.
fashion. We
Avevano lo
shared from
stesso
the beginning.
obiettivo.
We both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shatter tradition. But with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that rejected us, finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the for my part. I gambled it all, and devoted everything I had to that 1 week. I came out the other side with something that really made me proud.
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while Uter gave up on his dream and turned to making this sketchy stuff.
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is, after I opened Chiore Boutique,
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished. A guy like that doesn't deserve your sympathy.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
Già.
There are some control panels over there.
Vediamo. Allora. Esci dalla fabbrica. Allora, che cos'è
That
questo?
doesn't seem to have done anything. Maybe try the next one? That didn't do anything either.
Ma sa che è questo? Che ho attivato l'allarme? Oddio, esplode? Per... Ah, vabbè, solo cosa, vabbè.
Right here. Emerge. Right here. Lend me a hand.
Look over there. Seems like there's a way out. Maybe we can use these mechanisms to get higher.
Sì, ma io come ci arrivo là? Devo usare il pressore in pre. Oddio, no. Eh no, ma che cazzo sono caduta? Non si può fare. Non si fanno queste cose no. Cado a terra ogni volta. E perché non mi toglie vita? Sto coso. Sì, sì, quello che dici tu. Compressore. Bello.
We finally made it out. Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure.
Ok, comunque ho capito dove gioco come funziona.
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure.
Ne ho un tot di tempo. Ma devo scendere da qua? Eh sì, devo scendere da qua.
We're finally out of that stinky place. Let's take this evidence and get out of here.
Da dove? Ah, da qua. Chi è che mette una porta così? Cinematica.
Finally, the entrance. At last.
Oh, those chambers couldn't hold you, I see.
We've collected a bunch of evidence of all the nasty stuff happening at your factory.
Giusto. Non te la caverai.
The evidence on your person, you mean? What makes you think I have any...
Forse perché sono più forte di te?
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about using these funds for...
Oh, but this...
What? Destroying Chioria Boutique? Or continuing to make your rotten rags?
Proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce.
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll cater to all the
Fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal. But it's up to you to decide what it is. My brand caters to no one but myself and my vision.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall...
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? Your jaded understanding of the industry is the reason you've had it out for my brand for so long? You weren't like this before, Uter. What happened to the man who wanted to make something that would bring the entire world to its knees?
He realized long ago how utterly naive and ridiculous that dream was.
You gave up on your dream. But that wasn't enough, was it? You had to find a way to prove to yourself that it could never have been possible at all. You think you understand. But you're just a bitter man who let his regrets dictate his choices. You, this whole...
Pathetic. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool daydreaming about taking all of Tibet by storm.
Per te non c'è posto a Fonte, no per lei.
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dream, but more pitiful still are cowards who are too afraid to even attempt what the fool is brave enough to try.
You...
Yeah, just leave it.
No. You...
But he has...
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed with the plan. I'll deal with him. Some lessons...
Catch up with the...
Trying to leave, are we?
Bella.
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of...
Still trying to talk...
No matter what you've been through, no matter why you've become like that. If I may borrow the words of a friend,
I got... Allow me to show you.
Oh, vediamo questo cosa significa il vero brand Chiori. Ma devo fondarlo...
brand represents more than a person or a
Oh,
trademark.
c'è una
It's a
cinematica.
way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chioria Boutique has prepared for you today.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
An enduring, never-say-die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chioria brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself! Did Chiori not... Lights! Cameras! Over here, please!
Let the show begin.
the world may change, fashion along with it, but Chioria will remain the same.
Che
It's
belli!
too great. Chioria caters to no one, not even the times. Rather, Chioria will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget. Only those who do not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
Bello! Mi è piaciuto un sacco.
How about this?
A little more to the left.
Proprio a sinistra.
Like this?
Perfect.
Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori, can I take a picture?
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Teyvat without...
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin cat and the Bogglecat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course. How about...
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be cats and a penguin stuffed into...
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm.
Pucciosissima!
And a bit cramped.
Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the evidence the Traveler gathered.
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need for Monsieur Verite. It's on the...
Huh?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette. If you have...
What about something other than a costume?
Thank you, Chiori. It's much appreciated.
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger, all right?
No.
I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international cur... Actually, that reminds me. When will you be leaving? Huh? About that. The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of Fontaine. What? No, that's so embarrassing. Ooh, do we get something nice too, Chia?
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show. Appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization. Using weaponry in public? Hosting a dangerous performance with—
Shivers, we can explain.
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your earliest.
Enjoyed that, didn't you?
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and
if I had, would you?
No, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I must say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Blue Sandra.
All right, I won't argue with you.
Stavolta l'hai vinto.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice.
Andiamo a fare la spina.
Rain check. I've still got. Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Venger on the way here.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every.
You know it.
Thanks again.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last. That was really quite an amazing
Che sta sorridendo.
All right. Follow me if you want in on the celebration.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late.
A place with the view?
Perfect.
Ok, andiamo nel posto dove l'abbiamo incontrata. Andiamo. Chissà che vuole darci. Vuole darci qualcosa? Ci vuole dire qualcosa? Chi lo sa?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Wait long at all.
Sì, in effetti sono appena arrivata.
Here, take this.
Cos'è? Non ci sono per nessuno. Cos'è? Possiamo indossare le spille?
Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, you've been a great help. Even when things were looking bleak.
Sì, io rimango sempre a fianco delle persone a cui mi fido.
There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win. Even if it would.
Well, we may have helped a little, but Paimon would say you deserve most of the credit. This was.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart from conviction and persistence, the thing that matters most is having friends.
Giusto.
A single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chiori Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Probabile.
I doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it.
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
Well, guess there's nothing to worry about. Should we go back?
Oh, yes, of course. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine,